We did have a great victory in the House when we passed Audit the Fed. This is a credit to a certain congressman from Texas who got every Republican to vote for it and 100 Democrats to vote for it. A lot of news reports are saying it's dead now and it's going nowhere, and I can tell you that's not true. We have 29 co-sponsors in the Senate. I've sat down personally with Harry Reid twice, and Harry Reid assures me that he's been for Audit the Fed for over 20 years. Don't laugh, we found YouTube videos. From 1987 on, Harry Reid has been for Audit the Fed. He's just not sure if he's still for it. But this is something we can do. When I go back in September, we're going to try to get a vote. Harry Reid is the only one that can allow me to have the vote. He has all the power. If everyone in this room convinces 100 other people to email Harry Reid and says, we want to vote on Audit the Fed, I think we still can get it. So that's the way. One of the great things that's come out of Audit the Fed is that people have heard you. They've heard you say in the Fed too, but they've also heard Audit the Fed. But here's the thing. Because we've talked about Audit the Fed so much, we're now talking about Audit the Pentagon. Now, because of Hurricane Isaac, it's not sure whether my message will get to the Republican National Convention, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to speak. But one of the messages that I will give to them is that Republicans need to acknowledge that not every dollar is well spent or sacred in the military, and we have to look for ways in every department of government. A lot of you have been involved in my dad's presidential campaign in 2008 and 2012. It's been a marvelous ride that none of us will ever forget. But there are three things that stick out in my mind and to me are so incredible that they were ever spoken at all on a national stage. The first one, and the one I'll never forget, and this is something Republicans need to hearken to, and Republicans need to understand, when they say, why do all these young people love Ron Paul? Why does the internet love Ron Paul? They think it's because he's cool. Well, you know, I'm his kid. I can tell you it's not because he's cool. But the ideas of liberty are cool. And I can tell you one moment that I thought was really cool when he said, you know what? When you read the Beatitudes, when you read the Sermon on the Mount, it doesn't say anywhere in there, blessed are the war makers. What came out of these campaigns was a candidate who said something no one had heard, who said that we can have and should have limited constitutional government, but as part of that message, we should be reluctant to go to war. We should not have a rash foreign policy. We should be careful. Another moment they originally called the Ron Paul moment was when he talked about blowback. Had he not talked about blowback, I don't think anyone ever would. And the one thing that people still fail to grasp, so many fail to grasp, is they say, well, that's what your enemies are saying. Well, if you want to know why your enemies attack you, It doesn't justify why they attacked you. It doesn't justify any attacks. But if you want to understand what's going on, you would have to know why they say they attacked you. The final, and I know there are hundreds of moments, but the final moment that was one of my favorite, and I think this was from 2008 also, when they talked about the war in Iraq, and he said, you know what? We just marched in, and we can just march out. The guy that is my hero, the guy that is the greatest representative of the liberty movement in our time, my father, Ron Paul. Promote the cause of liberty in a revolutionary spirit. Thank you very much for being here. I have to tell you though, I was pretty worried the early part of this week. Saw a couple of bad articles. I saw it wasn't the hurricane that I was worried about, but I saw it that said revolution is over. There's going to be no revolution. Paper in Washington, D.C. They said the revolution will not be happening. Don't they only wish? But it is so great to come together for something so important. You know, a lot of people say today is a very important day, and I think it is. Our events today, to me, very important. And they say that this convention, very important this week, and indeed it is. And this election is very important. And let me tell you, there's something even more important than all that, and that is the cause that we're leading, and the cause of liberty, the attention that we're getting right now. About whether or not
to speak at the convention. And of course, I've written that off. But today, I was very excited. I got a call from the RNC. Say anything I want. Tomorrow night. Just kidding. First off, I really want to recognize our delegates, hundreds. I don't know how many. Than they thought they knew the rules. But, that didn't stop them. They've learned how to bend rules, break rules, and now they want to rewrite the rules. But then again, maybe they've been paying attention to what's been going on in Washington. They've been bending the rules and breaking the rules and rewriting the rules for too long. That's what we have to stop from happening. People at the convention were worried just how much trouble we would cause, and generally, no, my advice is just stopping something for the sake of stopping doesn't achieve a whole lot. So I've been a little bit cautious, but what they have found out is they've overstepped the bound. There's a big fight going on, and we're involved in it, but everybody else, a bunch of them are joining us and saying you've gone too far, the Ron Paul people were right about overstepping their bounds. It's just been great, the experience I've had these last 5 years, and it's been a very important time, not only for me personally, but I think for the attention that we're getting. Now, I've received a lot of compliments about it and given some credit about it, but I'll tell you what, it takes you, it takes a lot of other people, there's been a lot of things going on for decades, and it's coming about. It's coming about. Not so much, not only because I believe we're right on the issues, but what is coming out right now is proof positive that their philosophy of government, whether it's foreign policy, monetary policy, or economic policy, is failing, and they need something different. Victor Hugo about Samuel Adams about an irate tolerance minority and bringing about changes in that way. But ultimately, that minority was irate and tireless, and they light the fires of liberty in the minds of men. Yes, that's important. But ultimately, numbers do count. And even numbers do count when they don't count all the votes as well. We do have the numbers. Have an influence on the prevailing attitudes of the people. That is what's happening today. The people now are waking up and they're realizing the failure of what we have and the reason that these ideas are coming about. Now in this primary we had close to 2 million votes. They said, oh yeah, it's 2 million votes, that doesn't swing an election, it's no big deal. But guess what? For every vote that we got in the primary, let me tell you, just from my personal experience of traveling around the country and meeting people at airports and wherever, The support out there is much, much greater, and they don't feel comfortable coming to a Republican primary. So the support there, I would say, be 2 or 3 times as much as the number of votes.